We're coming to the pointy end of the off-season as we transition into the pre-season, and let's talk about Collingwood's defensive woes and a potential replacement player who could, a left field one that maybe not everyone has thought of in the past. But I will preface this video by saying up the ground is where the defense starts. Our forward 50, middle section of the ground, and then the defense as well. We defend better if we're able to lock the ball in our forward half, and that goes for every single team in the league. So that is the preface, right? So while it's important to get this replacement defender to replace Murphy, other things need to go right. Our pressure needs to be good around the ground, our structure, our setup, so on and so forth. So just bear that in mind, okay? Since Nathan Murphy's concussion retirement, his absence has been felt big time, right? What have we tried in the meanwhile? Charlie Dean's been tried at times. There's still a question mark as to what he can bring to the club, and we'll find out more over the next 12 months. Billy Frampton, I feel like we now know his ceiling, his best and worst. I've said his consistency, his best and worst is too far in between. We even had Isaac Quaynor play on Jeremy Cameron late in the year. That's how much we were struggling with matchups. And doesn't that just go to show how little faith our team has had in our other key tall defenders that we played Quaynor on Cameron, who held his own, but if Quaynor plays on Cameron 10 times, how many times does Cameron win that match? Probably 8 times out of 10, let's be honest. After that, the off-season, we had eyes on Barras. He's gone to Hawthorn. We also had eyes on Battle, who also went to Hawthorn. And we were in some good discussions with Mark Keane, who had recently or previously played for Collingwood before going home due to home sickness. And he goes on to extend a contract at Adelaide. So that was nipped in the bud, unfortunately. So in an off-season period where we were hopeful that we could get this key position defender that we sorely needed, unfortunately hasn't come to fruition. And what are we left with? Well, now we're left with the idea of bringing in Tomlinson and probably persisting with Dean and further down the rankings, the order, Billy Frampton, right? So here is my potential solution. What about Brodie Myercheck? He was an All-Australian defender in the VFL for Port Melbourne when he came to Collingwood, found his way in the forward line and hasn't moved back since. Myercheck's characteristics on the field, we know he's crash and bash, he's courageous, competitive, good at ground level for his size. And while we have McStay, while we potentially acquire Tim Membry, can't they hold it down for us in the forward line with Mason Cox and Darcy Cameron rotating in that section? Could Howe swing forward? And then we have Darcy Moore, Brodie Myercheck, and then Charlie Dean as a third key tall defender. Something like that sort of makeup, right? It also allows us, if Brodie Myercheck swings back, it allows us to keep this unconventional forward line that we've been operating with. 2 key talls, if that at times, and then the rest are all small forwards, Bobby, Billy, Bo, Lockie, right? That's what we've built our game upon. It's going to be difficult, and I made that 23, including these players in the forward. It's going to be difficult to have McStay, Myercheck, and Membry in the same forward line together at the same time, while also having Mason Cox and Cameron in the side. It's going to be difficult. So it is a short-term option because of Myercheck's age, but aren't the rest of our other current options available also short-term fulfillments? Tomlinson, I can guarantee you Brodie Myercheck is definitely a better defender than what Tomlinson could be for Collingwood. I can tell you that unequivocally. I can tell you that for sure. Charlie Dean is the only question mark, but just not the same type of size. Billy Frampton is a short-term option because of his inconsistency, and yeah. the ultimate question is, are we robbing Peter to pay Paul by taking Myercheck out of the forward line and putting him into the back line? Is this something we'll see in the pre-season? This is where you try things, right? We now have a luxury with Membry possibly coming to the club. We have this luxury of, okay, we've got McStay, Membry, Cox, Cameron, Myercheck, Ash Johnson's there, Reef McInnes is there. We have this luxury of all these key position players. Why don't we try one of these players in the back line? And like I said, I'm specifically referring to Brodie Myercheck. Had some injury concerns this year, we know that. Does going back help him? I'm not too sure. I think, in all honesty, playing backline, you definitely put your body on the line more than a forward, even though we've seen Myercheck put himself in dangerous positions in the forward line as well, putting his body on the line. But I think that's more so the case in the back line. But that is the nature of the beast. And that is my proposition. And I want to extend this conversation out to you guys. What do you think? Do you think Myercheck should move back? Or if not, what is your alternative? Let me know. Go Pies.